Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
30 years of joyfulness. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM here in Accra, Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, and on myjoyonline.com. We're also live in all 16 regions of Ghana via our various affiliates, live on X Spaces, on Facebook, and on YouTube. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energies, energizing dreams. Coming up, Special Prosecutor comes under fierce criticism from MPs for swallowing huge parts of government resources, but failing to deliver any convictions after nearly 8 years of its establishment.
It has been 8 years since its establishment, almost. There hasn't been one single conviction by that office.
So with all these resources that is going to the OSP, what is the OSP giving to Ghana in return?
We'll bring you details. Also, lawyers for embattled former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Edubuahene, and his wife have spent this morning at an Accra Human Rights Court making frantic efforts to secure his bail. And in sports,
former Defense Minister Dominic Neto raises alarm over financial neglect of sports infrastructure.
We'll also tell you about Ghana's immigration officers at the Kotoka International Airport who can now speak fluent Chinese language.
Wajao, Chief Superintendent Linda Asari.
And out why and how. Also, more than 30 years of flying, 4 engine failures, one with a sitting president on board. This is the story of the outgone Chief of Air Staff.
The last engine failure was also on the Falcon in 2018. That really made news. We have gone to Washington and we are taking off from Washington coming to Accra. And the engine failed on us again. This time, we're carrying the president of the nation, former President Adodankwa Akufo-Addo.
Well, we'll take you through how these terrifying moments didn't shake him, but instead fueled his determination and strengthened his resolve for his crew. Also, we'll bring you Ghana Man series, and today we'll tell you about the ancient caves that served as a hideout for people of Sanana in the Upper West region against slave raiders.
Sanana was located to be a place where when the people come, those who are aged have to be placed somewhere. And aged and the disabled and then women.
These and more with me, Sweety Aborchie. Please stay for details. This is Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. And now the news in detail. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has come under fierce criticism from some members of Parliament over claims that the office has failed to live up to its expectations or responsibility nearly 8 years of its establishment. Speaking during the consideration of budget estimates for the office, MP for Efia Isaac Boama Nyako wondered what exactly it is that the OSP has to show after hundreds of millions of cedis allocated to that office over the years.
The OSP is having a total staff of less than 250. Only 250 staff. And yet its compensation is 71.8 million cedis. What is that? We are crying, we are cutting down certain ministries and agencies. And yet the OSP is giving compensation for less than 249 staff. To the tune of 71 million, capex of 54 million. We reviewed that of legal aid, just 1.5 million and 5 million has been available. And the previous year, the OSP was given a total of 32 million in compensation in goods and services and 47 million in capex. So with all these resources that is going to the OSP, what is the OSP giving to Ghana in return? Mr. Speaker, look at go to paragraph 11.3. The Office of the Special Prosecutor is supposed to have a retention of 30% of all the recoveries that he makes. That is supposed to be the basis upon which we assess the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Well, MP for Meisha South, Bafwe Jewa, also argued that the OSP has failed to secure even a single conviction and instead moving away from its roles and chasing responsibilities that are for the Auditor General.
It has been 8 years since its establishment, almost. There hasn't been one single conviction by that office. Mr. Speaker, by its own documents that it brought to the committee, Mr. Speaker, the agency now has only three criminal cases pending. 3 after 8 years. Mr. Speaker, 3. Mr. Speaker, when you look at the cases that it is involved, Mr. Speaker, then you realize that there seems to be some aberration in its focus. Why am I saying so? Mr. Speaker, primarily, when we are talking of an institution protecting the public purse, what is the public purse? The public purse is what we are being invited upon to approve today. That is the budget, the appropriation. Mr. Speaker, post-implementation, Mr. Speaker, is the work of the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, when you go through what he presented to the committee, you hardly see much of its work focused on the work of the Auditor General. Very respectfully, Mr. Speaker, we know that what excites sentiments in this country is mostly the PAC hearing, the PAC hearing, the public account hearing. Mr. Speaker, when Ghanaians watch the hearings of the public account committee and see the fallout from it, then, Mr. Speaker, they are beginning to crash in their bones.
All these and more going down in Parliament, and I want to take you there now because it's the final and busy day for the House. Our correspondent Kweku Asante joins me. Kweku, the last set of budgetary estimates for various MDAs will be approved today before the entire appropriation bill is passed. How are things shaping up?
Well, yes, Aborchie, the House has been sitting, in fact, up until late in the night. On Wednesday, they did adjourn past midnight, yesterday past 11 p.m., and they've been doing a lot of work. This morning, they are going to deal with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs estimates that is ongoing on the floor. Right after that, they will consider of Parliament and Parliamentary service, the Judicial and Judicial service before the General Government services. Ultimately, we expect that the appropriation bill will be passed today, given that it is the last day for the House to sit before it goes on break for both Eid al-Fitr and the Easter break. Well, aside these, anything else Parliament will be considering before the break? Yes, it is very likely the House will want to deal with the Ghana Gold Board bill. That bill is one of the key promises made by the NDC. They say that will lead to the stabilization of the Ghanaian city. That bill has been put before the House. There are various amendments that have been proposed by members of Parliament. It is very likely that the House will consider that bill and pass it today before it goes on break. That is the other key business the House is expected to transact. Thank you, Kweku Asante, our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent. Now let's go to the courts because lawyers for embattled former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Edubuahene, and his wife have spent the morning at an Accra Human Rights Court making frantic efforts to secure his bail. The couple was arrested by officials of the National Intelligence Bureau on suspicion of engaging in corrupt activities during Mr. Edubuahene's tenure. While they were initially granted bail, the stringent conditions have made it impossible for them to meet the requirement. Now they're seeking a review of the bail terms as investigations by the Economic and Organized Crime Office continue. Lateef Idrisu is in court for us. Lateef, thanks for joining us. Bring us up to speed with the event in court today.
Well, so it's just been delivered here at the Criminal Court 1 at the High Court Complex. Kwabena Edubuahene's bail terms or the bail conditions imposed on him by Yoko has been amended and reviewed by the court. What is now the bail condition for Edubuahene is that it's been reviewed from over 100 million Ghana cedis to 80 million Ghana cedis with two sureties, one to be justified. His wife's bail condition, on the other hand, stays same, 80 million Ghana cedis, just that this time around with two sureties, one to be justified. Both of them are supposed to report at Yoko 3 times in a week. They can only travel out of the country at the express permission of Yoko. These are the new terms imposed on Edubuahene and his wife. They've been swiftly taken away to Yoko as we speak. And when I engaged Edubwine briefly when he was walking out of the courtroom, he said, so far, he's not been charged with any crime whatsoever. And I'm quoting him here. I asked him what he makes of the publicity and all the talks about him in the media space. He says, so far, I have not been charged with any crime whatsoever. And then before he entered the police vehicle, I asked him, is he sure he's going to come out clean? He said, yes, I'm going to come out as an innocent man. Back to you in studio.
Well, let's see, before you go, what was the reaction from the lawyers of Edubwine and his wife?
Obviously, Atachia was excited. He says this is why he came to court. And if you recall, Atachia and his client came to court for bail. But then when the case was called, it turned out that they had to amend it to rather they wanted an amendment to the bail conditions and not that they are seeking bail for Mr. Edubwine. And so that's what happened. If you read what had transpired, it was that Atachia and his other teams were trying to get bail for Edubwine. But today in court, they rather asked for amendment of the bail conditions, which they described as onerous and very disturbing for Mr. Edubwine to meet. And so they've gotten what they wanted. He believes that now his client is confident that he will go home today. He will not sleep in the custody of Yoko.
Lateef, thanks much. Now let's move on. Government says it is working to resolve the imminent food crisis that could have affected the Ghana Armed Forces due to an outstanding debt of 275 million Ghana cedis owed to food suppliers since August 2023. Speaking after the Chief of Defence Staff, Major General William Ejapong, and other service chiefs visited the Jubilee House to render compliments to him as the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and President of Ghana, President Mahama stated that the Ministers for Finance and Defence are working together to settle current bills while implementing additional measures to clear outstanding debts.
Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Defence and the Ghana Armed Forces. As we turn the economy around, you can rest assured that your budgetary allocation will further increase to enable you secure. Yeah, that was a good point to clap. Your budgetary allocation will further increase to enable you secure new and additional platforms and assets in order to enhance your operations. Already, we are planning to upgrade the Esochari training camp into a first-class training facility. Currently, we know that you are saddled with a debt of approximately 3.7 billion cedis. However, with innovation, commitment, and perseverance, we shall expand and modernize the Ghana Armed Forces.
Well, President Mahama further urged the Chief of Defence Staff and the leadership of the Ghana Armed Forces to take decisive action against illegal mining and contribute to maintaining peace in Boko.
I also thank them for the peace that we are enjoying, because without peace there can be no progress. Unfortunately, any time the peace of Ghana will be disturbed, it is the MPP government that is in power. Recently, I've been hearing some things happening in Boko that appear to be threatening to disturb the peace there. I just appeal to the people of Boko area and all those who are stakeholders in what is happening there to exercise patience, exercise restraint.
Well, our presidential affairs correspondent Maxwell Agbagba joins us with more details. Max, we just heard the president on Boko. What else has he been saying?
Well, the president here urged the CDS and other service chiefs to support the defense minister to prioritize and motivate officers and soldiers and the defense civilian staff. He says this is the surest way to enable the Ghana Armed Forces to defend Ghana's democracy and territorial integrity and also strengthen internal peace and security, including supporting the ongoing fight against illegal mining.
Max, the Chief of Defense Staff also spoke. What did he say?
Well, the CDS Major General William Ejapong in his speech said from his little interaction with the defense minister, they have become aware that the president has great passion for the Ghana Armed Forces in the area of troops welfare, provision of equipment, and also maintaining and restoring the image of the Ghana Armed Forces. He promised the president of the military's unflinching loyalty to the constitution, to the state, and then to him, the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Decisions, but we are inspired by the fact that you have assured that you give us the backing that we need to be able to do all this. We want to reaffirm to you our unflinching loyalty to the Constitution, to the state, and to you, the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, and to reassure you that under your guidance, we will provide the right leadership that we need to be able to make our Ghana Armed Forces strong, to be able to secure the country and protect its territorial integrity by land, sea, and air.
That was Maxwell Agbagba, our presidential affairs correspondent. Now let me take you to the Western North region, where the minister, Wilbert Petit-Brentum, says his fight against mining in forest and water bodies will be devoid of favoritism. The Regional Security Council has waged a war against the menace, emphasizing its efforts will be strengthened in the coming days. The minister says dealing with illegal lodging also remains a priority for the region. Nanaya Ojima has more in this report.
The Western North region hosts some of the country's large and rich forest reserves, some of them rich in mineral deposits. Like other parts of the country, the region is plagued with illegal logging and mining. The government, through the various regional coordinating councils, has waged a war against mining in forest reserves and water bodies. But the Western North Regional Minister, Wilbert Petit-Brentum, says they have extended their mandate to include illegal logging.
As a country, we know that we need mining to survive. But we have also taken a very strong decision which reflects in the law governing mining that we don't mine in forest reserve, we don't mine on water bodies. So I sound this warning to all people who are engaging in this illegality that we shall come after them. And if you are my friend, you are my family member, once you fall into that trap, please don't call me, because there is nothing that I can do to help you.
The government has stressed its readiness to support the mining industry. The regional minister is therefore encouraging miners in the catchment to take necessary steps towards regularizing their operations.
Those who are working outside forests, outside water bodies, can meet the Minerals Commission officers to ensure their activities are regulated and formalized.
From Western North.
Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Awaso.
From Western North to the Ashanti region now, where after 10 days of crippling water crisis at Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, the Ashanti Regional Minister and other institutions have stepped in to provide emergency water supply. The crisis, triggered by a supply cut from the Ghana Water Company Limited, forced the hospital to suspend major surgeries and new patient admissions. With CAF struggling to maintain critical services, the Public Relations Officer Kwame Frimpong says the intervention comes as a crucial lifeline, and we'll hear from him shortly. But first, here's a report capturing the situation.
The Ghana Water Company Limited shut the Barikese water treatment plant on March 17 for a major installation exercise. Though the company has since announced the restoration of power services in Kumasi, the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital is reeling under the impact of the shutdown. Some patients at the health facility say they are experiencing the impact of the shortfall in water supply. We're told to get water from Masalachi, but that place is very far. I was discharged today, but I have to send all my dirty clothes back home because I was unable to wash them due to the shortage of water. The shortage of water has become a very big problem for us as patients. I can't even use the washroom because there's no water. The Orthopedic and Emergency Directorate of the hospital is hardest hit. The Komfo-Anokye Doctors Association says the water shortage has significantly affected the provision of essential healthcare services, especially in maintaining hygiene, conducting surgical procedures, and ensuring patient care and safety.
For about close to 10 days now, we've not had water supply from Ghana Water Company. Our operations is also said that it's water dependent for infection prevention control purposes. And so our reservoirs were exhausted, and we tried to get supplies from private tanker operators. We spoke to Ghana National Fire Service and also spoke to KMA. They all helped us to understand. But as I indicated, the scale of our operations and the number of people who reside in this enclave are so huge that that was the supplies or the support that we're getting from all these partners proved to be inadequate.
The doctors say they will continue to attend to existing cases but not admit new ones.
Well, CAT's PRO, Kwame Frimpong, is hopeful that the intervention from the Ashanti Regional Minister will sustain them until the water company restores the supply.
They are trying to see if they can reroute supplies to us through another line that is yet to be effected. They've also assured us that when the tankers that we are trying to mobilize through the support of the Ashanti Regional Minister, when they are made available to us, they will show us areas where we can also fetch water, because it appears that this entire enclave is having water shortage challenges. So even when we have water tankers, there are difficulties in getting sources where you can quickly get some and supply the hospital. But they have given us a firm assurance that as and when those additional tankers, those that we have, become available, they are prepared and ready to send out to areas that we can easily get water. Conference is a very big community, and we now have almost 6,000 staff members who help us to run our 24/7 operational cycle. At any particular moment in time, we have about 2,000, if not more, on average, on daily basis, patients who are either coming here for OPD services or on admission. We have a number of training schools in this enclave. The nursing training school, the students alone are about 1,500. We have the medical school. There are 4th, 5th, and 6th year students are all here. We have uncountable number of visitors who pass through this hospital every day.
That is Kwame Frimpong, PRO for Komfanochi Teaching Hospital. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll tell you about Ghana's immigration officers at the Kotoka International Airport who can now speak fluent Chinese. And then we'll tell you in our latest Ghana Man series, we'll tell you about the ancient caves that served as hideouts for the people of Sanana in the Upper West region against slave raiders.
To be a place where when the people come, those who are aged have to be placed somewhere, and aged and the disabled and then women.
Where did I? Now I don't know many I just saw.
Obiang, what you chrome her? And to want to say petrol software energizing dreams for motion. Hey boy. Petrosol are celebrating their 10 years in grand style. They're giving back to their loyal customers. Hope you have registered at their online portal. Don't say I didn't tell you all.
Each month, customers will stand a chance of winning items like tricycles, motorcycles, television sets, refrigerators, phones, fuel vouchers, and many more. But the best part is that at the end of the promo, we will be giving out a grand prize of 2 Suzuki Espresso cars to lucky winners who stay with us all through the promo period. All you need to join is to visit any of our over 100 stations across the country to get registered, or go to www.petrosolcrm.com to register online.
Petrosol, energizing dreams.
Hey, stay soft concentrate fabric softener. I was such it move. Just send it this way. You hear my tina watch. New year it's now watch. No be a baby some want some demoni in us. Didn't you say? Fair quiet, yes, sim beer association Ontario. Use stay soft and new year it's now watch. Nani boss to tap from cry. A fabric softener. A year near says, choose to stay soft. No who's so say no. FDID a dreading crack to yatu.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
This is still the midday news with me, Sweety Aborchie. Let's head straight into sports, and Mubarak is here. What's up?
Thank you very much, Sweety. So, former Defense Minister Dominic Neto has warned that Ghana's sports infrastructure could be in a bad shape without dedicated maintenance funds. Parliament approved 65 million Ghana cedis for the sports ministry, but none of it is for maintenance of facilities, including the Botiman Sports Complex and various stadia across the country.
Sports is so important to all of us. Especially football is so important to all of us. The facilities that they are building, you cannot have a situation whereby this ministry has nothing for capital expenditure. Zero, nothing. Not even 10 million Ghana cedis for him to be able to use to at least take care of the pitches and those especially the asphalted that are there. To have zero, nothing, I don't think it's good. And you are going to have a situation whereby Ghana is almost qualifying for the World Cup, and you need to be able to keep the place, keep the people moving, and make sure that your facilities are kept in good shape. Otherwise, all the new facilities will build. If we don't start looking after them properly, Mr. Speaker, I tell you, in a year or 2 years' time, we are going to have a big problem.
Yeah, so Sweety, you know, Sunday is likely to be Salah Day, Sunday or Monday. So I would say Eid Mubarak.
Baraka de Salah.
Baraka de Salah, of course, in Hausa. Yeah, I'm out.
Thank you, Mubarak. Now, let me tell you about the Sanana Caves, the latest in our Ghana Man series. Now, the Sanana Caves served as a refuge for the people during the 17th century war against slave raiders, Sumarai and Babatu. The caves, known for their ability to expand and accommodate any number of people, provided a strategic hideout for planning attacks, leading to people's victory. Reporting for the Ghana Man series, Joy News' Rafiq Salam highlights the caves as a symbol of resistance and resilience.
We met a retired educationist and paramount chief of the Sanana traditional area, now Pagraning Asakwe Mona III. He first briefed us on the story behind the caves before leading us to the smaller of the two caves in this area.
Here, Sanana was located to be a place where, when the people come, those who are aged have to be placed somewhere, and aged and the disabled, and then women, children. So we had some caves say that when they come, all such persons were put in there for safety, and the abled ones were fighting the slave raiders.
We were told that this is the very place that the people of Sanana use as a hideout to be able to fight slave raiders like Samoro and Babatu. Yeah. So let me try and enter and see what is it. See, okay, it's very dark, very spacious at the other end, but I'm trying to see what is really in there. At the moment, there's nothing there. Oh, but I can see very far away a lot of birds flying in there.
The cave has an elastic capacity and could accommodate over 1,000 people.
From Sanana now, let's get into the immigration officials at the Kotoka International Airport who've added a new skill to their arsenal, Chinese language proficiency. It is aimed at improving service delivery as the number of Chinese travelers to Ghana continue to rise. This initiative aims to break language barriers, enhance communication, and ensure smoother passenger processing for Mandarin-speaking visitors. My colleague Jacqueline Ansomayobwa visited Kotoka International Airport to observe firsthand how immigration officers are using their newfound language to interact with travelers.
At Kotoka International Airport, an immigration officer confidently conversing in the Chinese language, Mandarin, with a newly arrived Chinese national, a scene that would have been unlikely just months ago. This officer is one of the several who have undergone specialized language training to enhance communication, break language barriers, and streamline passenger processing for Mandarin-speaking travelers. Ghana's relationship with China has expanded significantly over the years, driving trade, tourism, and diplomatic ties. But amid the signed deals and rising investment, language remained the challenge.
In our service delivery, I think we should be able to meet each group at the point of his or her need. Yes, and let me draw your attention to the fact that it's not only Chinese that we study here. We have officers who are also undertaking French course, Spanish, but they are in very few numbers. But this is a large class, and in fact they are regular customers, and they are the ones we always have challenges communicating.
But this training isn't just about learning words, it's about understanding culture too. Professor Wang Jinmin of the Confucius Institute of University of Ghana sheds light on why cultural competence is just as important as language skills.
By doing this kind of teaching, the students and the teachers have an interaction. So actually, maybe there's some misunderstanding of the relationship between China and Ghana. But we know the friendship is always there. So by doing this, you will see we knew each other more.
Jacqueline Ansomayobwa, Joy News, Kotoka International Airport.
您好，我叫 Chief Superintendent Linda Asari.
Ni hao, Mojoy, Sweety Aborchie, and Papa Ni joins me in studio for What's Trending. Papa Ni, what's up?
Did you say ni hao?
Ni hao.
What does it mean?
Xie xie. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Papa Ni.
Well, I possibly should have taken languages as a free elective in
I took German.
Well, I didn't.
Expression, I said Deutsch.
I know one word in there at least. But yeah, Sweety, just to tell us what is trending in the news on social media, actually, Idris Elba is trending, and people have pulled out this Majolan story where some time ago he was in Ghana, I think 2 years ago, where he also told President Akufo-Addo that groundworks are underway for the construction of a modern film studios in Ghana. Guess what he's been telling John Mahama?
Same thing?
Well, same thing. Actually, you guessed right. So yeah,
he's probably just enthusiastic, Charlie.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So that is trending, and the Chief Justice also trending here. And there's this comment here. This is from Fred, and it says that, well, we hope that the Chief Justice comes out unscathed. This one here from Sika,
well, Papa Ni, we don't have time for all that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Yin Yao. I'm Sweety Aborchie. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of our programs. But stay for Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil. Bye for now.